Jasper Millier here, and World of Slang, coming on to talk about a grammatical issue known as the single apostrophe used in place of quotation marks. And what is it really? And is it proper, or is it just laziness, or is it just a fashion statement? I've used them in the last number of years, actually. So you know what I'm talking about. It's an apostrophe, but if you use them in front and behind of a quotation situation, I Googled it as a double apostrophe, and AI Overview answered me, and here's what it has to say. A double apostrophe isn't a standard punctuation mark in English. What you might be referring to is a pair of double quotation marks or a pair of single quotation marks. Yes, that's exactly what I'm referring to. These are used to indicate direct quotations, titles of shorter works like articles or episodes, and in some cases, to set off words used ironically or in a special sense. Yeah, and I often use it as a sub-quotation, like a quotation inside of a quotation, like needing a parentheses inside of a parentheses. So I'll use the square-edged parenthetical marks, which are actually bigger. So rather than use the square ones inside the round ones, I'll reverse that and use the square ones outside the round ones, and then use the round ones inside the square ones because I think it looks better. But that's just me. Anyway, here's a breakdown of their uses. Direct quotations. Double quotation marks are typically used for a direct quote, meaning someone's exact words. Example, she said, quote, "I love you," and I'm talking about the double quotation marks. Nested quotations, which is what I just described. If you have a quote within a quote, single quotation marks are used in American English. Example, he said, quote, "She told me, comma, I'm tired," single quotation, end quotation, or double quotation. Like so, this. Example, he said, and there's a quotation mark, she told me, and there's the single quotation mark, comma, I'm tired, ending with a single and then a double to conclude everything. Or that looks like a double-double, but it should be a single. Oh, geez Louise. She told me I'm tired. And then I see. So we have another one here. So why do they separate that by the comma? There's no need for that. I just do it as one. Single quotation, she told me, comma, no need for that one. I'm tired, single quotation, then the double quotation. So I disagree with that. Titles of shorter works. Double quotation marks are used for titles of characters, episodes, and other short works. Example, the episode, The Great American Melting Pot, and you see the single quotations there, was interesting, end quote, according to Western Michigan University. Emphasis or irony. Quotation marks can also be used to highlight a word or phrase, often to show emphasis or irony. Example, double quotation. They were, single quotations, so creative, end single quotation, when they painted over the walls, double quotation, ending, end quotes. Introducing a specialized term. Double quotation marks can be used to introduce a new term or concept, especially in academic writing. Example, double quotation. Is there a single one as well? No. Okay, the new law identified public diplomacy, single, as ... end quotation. In British English, the use of single and double quotation marks is reversed compared to American English. Yeah, just like I was talking about with the parentheses marks, parenthesis. For example, in British English, a quote within a quote would be enclosed in double quotation marks, while the main quote would be enclosed in single quotation marks. That's kind of nutty. I disagree with that, but whatever. Maybe that's partially why we seceded as Americans. Ha ha ha. I don't know about that. Anyway, key points to remember. Quotation marks always come in pairs. Punctuation within a quoted phrase usually goes inside the quotation marks unless it's a part of the quoted material. Be consistent with your choice of quotation marks, single or double, throughout your writing. Sure, yeah. Okay, and there we have it. And here's a Grammarly explanation. I think we're quoting Google is what we're doing here. This versus this. So I'll let you check that out yourself rather than me just read that. Single versus double quotation marks. What's the difference? In form, double quotation marks are simply quotes for short, are just commas elevated to the top of a text line instead of at the bottom. Single quotation marks use only one comma. They just look like the apostrophe, while double quotation marks use 2 commas right next to each other. I like them because they take less space, and they're different and they're just easy. When should you use double quotation marks? Well, and I hear that in grammar you can also italicize in place of using the double quotation marks. That makes even more sense. Italicize and then use the single quotation marks when you're trying to single out a phrase for whatever. You can look that up on your own. I'm going to call this a video. All right? All right. Ciao for now.